From the capital poetry of Peru, the poem The Nine Monsters by Cesar Vallejo. And unfortunately, pain grows in the world every moment. Grows 30 minutes a second. Step by step. And the nature of the pain is the pain twice. And the condition of the metrodome, carnivorous, voracious, is the pain twice. And the function of the purest grass, the pain twice. And the good of being, to hurt us doubly. Never human men was there so much pain in the chest, in the label, in the wallet, in the glass, in the butcher shop, in the arithmetic. Never so much painful affection. Never did far away charge so close. Never did the fire ever play better its role of dead cold. Never, Mr. Secretary of Health, was health more mortal. And did the migraine extract so much forehead from the forehead. And the cabinet have in its drawer pain. And the heart in its drawer pain. The wall lizard in its drawer pain. Misfortune grows, brother men, faster than the machine, at 10 machines, and grows with each head of Rizal cattle, with our beards. Evil grows for reasons we know not, and is a flood with its own liquid, its own mud and its own solid cloud. Suffering inverts positions. It acts, making the watery humor appear vertical to the pavement. The eye seen, and this ear heard, and this ear sounds 9 strokes at the hour of lightning, and 9 guffaws at the hour of wheat, and 9 female sounds at the hour of crying, and 9 canticles at the hour of hunger, and 9 thunderclaps and 9 lashes, minus a scream. The pain grabs us, brother men, from behind, in profile, and drives us wild in the movies, nails us into the gramophones, denails us in bed, falls perpendicularly to our tickets, to our letters. And it is very serious to suffer, one might pray. For as a result of the pain, there are some who are born, others grow, others die, and others who are born and do not die, others who without having been born die, and others who neither are born nor die. And also as a result of suffering, I am sad up to my head, and sadder down to my ankle, from seeing bread crucified, the turnip bloodied, the onion crying cereal, in general, flour, salt grounded to dust, water fleeing, wine an ecce homo, such pallid snow, such an ardent sun. How, human brothers, not to tell you that I can no longer stand, and can no longer stand so much drawer, so much minute, so much wall lizard and so much inversion, so much far away and so much thirst for thirst. Mr. Secretary of Health, what to do? Unfortunately, human men, there is, brothers, much too much to do.
In the United States, the non-profit prestigious organization, PAMS, the Peruvian American Medical Society, with a noble trajectory of over 40 years helping the people in need of Peru, decided to establish a disaster relief fund in order to help the people affected by the natural disaster in the north coast of Peru. The president of PAMS, Dr. Pablo Perez, traveled to the city of Trujillo April the 5th, and as soon as he arrived, he met with medical volunteers who were eager and ready to participate in medical campaigns in communities affected by the flooding, such as Laredo and El Porvenir. After meeting with medical doctors who have been committed to helping those in need and who have identified the families affected by the flooding and who have been connected with the community leaders, made us feel that the campaign would be successful. The same afternoon after the meeting, I was so impressed how well organized these volunteers were to buy water, food, medicines, and to have their own logistics to see patients for the following days. First day. When we arrived to the Torres of San Idelfonso, a community of about 150 families, they welcomed us in a small house where the living room was converted into a small clinic. 4 tables served as exam tables and for consultation, and another table our medications were placed for distribution. Our triage consisted of a small scale that was placed at the entrance door, and the people lined up very patient, waiting to be seen by the doc. Was given preference to the pregnant ladies, kids, and elders. Everybody was seen, and also the families received bottles of water and supplies. The help of the volunteers in order to maintain the order was very important. The most common medical conditions related to the post-disaster diseases that we saw in these encounters were the allergies, dermatologic problems, gastrointestinal, diarrheas, dehydration, malnutrition, and we saw for the first time the mosquito-transmitted ill disease called dengue. After we finished our consultations, we walked towards the community, where we saw destroyed houses. The living conditions were chaotic. Many families still were living in small tents, fabricated with pieces of wood and plastic. The streets were full of dust, no pavement at all. The sanitary conditions were so poor. People didn't have latrines or septic tanks to deposit urine or feces, and they didn't have water at all.
Ahorita estoy como soy un delegado de mi manzana general de todos, ¿no? Y he sido el que he organizado para a todos hacer un empadronamiento general de todos los que viven acá. ya en vista de necesidad de que por lo menos sean atendidos todos, no se quede nadie.
¿Cuántas familias son?
Yo en mi casa,
No,
en general
todo.
estaremos con 150 personas que vivimos.
En San Idelfonso, sí, pertenece a Laredo.
Pertenece a la
We listened and talked to the people, and we promised them that we will be back with more help. The story of an elderly lady that was living in a small tent with her 7 grandkids broke our heart. One of the kids had varicella and was sick. When we came back to the city, we were emotionally and mentally affected to see so much misfortune and the impotence of not being able to help more on that day. Late that afternoon, we were more enthusiastic. We went to buy more supplies, more medicines. The next day, 2 new communities will benefit from the service of our volunteers. Punta Alta and Alto Guayaga in Laredo, another community severely affected by the disaster. Second day. We got up early the next day and rented 5 trucks for a more productive campaign than the prior day. Very early in the morning, volunteers started the preparation of oatmeal in 2 giant pots and also prepared sandwiches with cheese and ham for almost 400 people. We transported so many supplies this time, especially for kids. Soccer balls and sandals were taken into the trucks. Also a lot of bottles of water for almost 100 families, and more than 20 volunteers were ready to serve on that day. We worked so hard with dedication that it felt as if we've known each other for years. We built a brotherly community among ourselves. We see the joy of service among our volunteers with a lot of gestures of love towards the affected people. We listen to the testimonies of horror from the people who were affected by the flooding.
Pero nunca hemos visto nosotros así. Yo primera vez que yo he visto que el cerro era horrible, agua se oscureció como no se veía para nada. Se oscureció completamente, no se veía nada pues, como si hubiera anochecido, no se veía nada y el agua se venía horrible, por acá era horrible las aguas. Si no hubiera sido esa casa de material noble, lo arriaba mi hijita, se caía en tu casa, lo llevaba mi hijita, pero gracias a Dios, Diosito, que fue grande y poderoso, mi hijita se quedó en medio de las casas atrapada y se ha salvado con vida, ella está con vida.
All the survivors were very thankful to God. They really appreciated their health and their lives. There was hope inside of all of them that one day they will be recovered from this misfortune. Most of the people who were living in these shanty towns were humble people that were coming from the highlands, very resilient against adversity.
Tengo mis 2 pequeñas y yo lo hemos vivido que nunca hemos visto el huaico. Yo me he traumado, estoy traumada ahorita yo con cada gotita que escucho que llueve, ya me asusto, empiezo a llorar, me da miedo ya, y mis hijas igual. Entonces nunca hemos vivido este huaico así tan fuerte que ha habido, porque es la primer huaico que ha sido bastante fuerte, porque 7 días que ha llovido acá continuamente, no ha parado.
El huaico vino demasiado de arriba del cerro. Estábamos ahí en la casa trabajando, yo estaba adentro trabajando, pero mi esposa me avisó cuando estaba llegando el agua. Y ya no podíamos salvar nada las cosas, pero se llenó casi medio metro de alto en los cuartos el agua. Y entonces para salvar yo posible. Yo y mi esposa me corrí al cerro, pero mi hijita no me percaté que se había quedado en un cuarto mirando tele. Ya para regresarme ya no podía, esperé como 5 minutos que baje y me aventé al río yo, pues, para salvar a mi hija.
Third aid. Dr. Kwon, a well-recognized PAMS missionary, joined into our group, and also Dr. Lasso, a pediatrician from the Hospital Belén of Trujillo. This time, the solidarity focused in El Porvenir, an area that was furiously hit by the flooding.
Lo que he hecho, Señor, de agarrar mi hijita y irme al frente para que me den posar en una ramadita. Y allí mis vecinos, mi vecino de acá, él fue el que me apoyó más. Él cargaba mis cositas de servicio, mi cocinita, lo llevó para allá, pero no me querían dar cosas. Me quedo acá, no, me dijo la dueña, cagotea. Y otro vecinito me buscó un cuartito más arriba. Entonces, señor, yo he estado 2 semanas ahí en esa casita. Pero yo me sentía mal porque la arena era acá y nosotros lo vimos acá, un montón de arena era allí.
A house was converted again into a small clinic. We saw the frustration and anxiety of the people that were waiting for so long for help to meet their basic needs. There was not a clinic or medical services nearby there.
Desesperado, gritaba yo, no sabía qué hacer, por lo que se perdió todas mis cosas. Y yo sentía, y solamente lloraba porque no tenía nada que tener ahorita. Todo he perdido, no tengo quien me apoye en mi casa. Me he quedado en la calle, Señor. Y ahora yo quisiera que ustedes me apoyen, me den con una casita porque no tengo, Señor.
People waited very patiently as they were in long lines. Again, we distribute basic medications such as antibiotics, anti-diarrhea, respiratory inhalers, skin creams, vitamins, insect repellents, analgesics, antacids, and medications for their nerves. All the inhabitants were very humble, with great faith that their pain will be mitigated and that their health would be recovered. There is no better satisfaction than the expressions of love and gratitude that comes from people who has been marginated by a society full of prejudice and human indifference, apathy and corruption. Our volunteers arrived to the affected communities to defy sickness, poverty, and death. They said that they had a lot of compassion and respect for the ones in need. They extended their hands to reach out to them in so many ways. That hands were so rough. They were hard-working people. They were eager to reconstruct their lives. The volunteers learned so much about the living conditions of the communities that were affected that immediately started 4 projects in order to improve their nutrition, drinkable water, sanitation, and the mosquito illness transmitted, such as dengue, Zika, and chikungunya. The 4 projects were passed to PAMS for further review and application. Fourth day. Reflections of our medical campaign and plan of action. The commitment was made to continue with the support of the medical campaigns initiated by Dr. Diego Cabanillas, who was the leader who applied for the initial grant from PAMS under the supervision of Dr. Pablo Perez. The need for recruitment of more nurses and physicians from different universities to continue the service in the north coast of Peru. The altruism and solidarity of the volunteers continue after the disaster. They organize and now are in the process of establishing their own non-profit organization with specific goals to continue their help to the ones who continue suffering after the disaster. PAMS supported the idea and under the direction of Mr. Rafael Flores, a local lawyer, and other volunteers decided to start the process of formation of the non-profit organization with 4 representatives: the president, Dr. Diego Cabanillas, medical surgeon; vice president, medical student from the University of Trujillo, Luigi Morillas; secretary, Ms. Ana Claudia Trejo, a lawyer; and the treasurer, Santiago Benitez, a public accountant.
Pestaña matinal, no os levantéis, el pan nuestro de cada día, dánoslo, Señor. Todos mis huesos son ajenos, yo tal vez los robé. Yo vine a darme lo que acaso estuvo asignado para otro. Y pienso que si yo no hubiera nacido, otro pobre tomar este café. Yo soy un mal ladrón. ¿A dónde iré? Y en esta hora fría, en que la tierra trasciende a polvo humano, y es tan triste. Si quisiera tocar todas las puertas y suplicar a no sé quién perdón y hacerle pedacitos de pan fresco aquí en el horno de mi corazón.
PAMS has conducted a medical mission to the most affected areas by the disaster in Trujillo, such as Laredo and El Porvenir, from May the 22nd to May the 26th. Thanks to the efforts of the Auxiliary Committee of PAMS, Helmobile has been donated to the Catholic Church of Trujillo to be used in communities that has been affected very badly by the disaster. PAMS projects. Community kitchens. Objective to combat malnutrition. The reality of so many communities is heartbreaking. They lost many places of gathering, including the places where they used to have the community kitchens, and these places we need to rebuild. And thanks to PAMS, the communities that has been benefit from this project are Cerro La Virgen, San Idelfonso, Castillo, Alto Guayaga, La Punta, Plaza Pampa, Ñari, Jesús María, and Pampas de San Juan. Thanks to this project, PAM is going to feed temporary to families that has been affected while they are rebuilding their lives. Fumigation projects. PAMS has acquired 6 fumigation and vaporization pumps in order to help the fumigation campaigns that already has been initiated by the health authorities of Trujillo. And the purpose is to decrease the epidemic outbreak of dengue, Zika, and chikungunya, diseases that are transmitted by the mosquito Aedes aegypti. Latrines Project. Objective: to improve the sanitary conditions of the communities that has been affected by the disaster. These communities, PAMS already is reaching out through the medical campaigns, and the people of the community are building their own latrines, and the tools and materials has been donated by PAMS. 16 latrines has been built for these communities. Water Filters Project. Knowing that our communities not been having drinkable water, PAMS decided to buy 500 water filters that were distributed to the communities of Plaza Pampa, Alto Guayaga, La Punta, San Idelfonso, Castillo, Jesús María, Cerro La Virgen, Ñari, y Pampas de San Juan. All of these families has been receiving training in how to operate the water filters for their better use. In this way, we are strongly committed to improve the decrease of incidence of gastrointestinal diseases because of the lack of drinkable water.
Ya la segunda agua la pueden tomar. Esta agua es como si tomaran agua hervida o agua de botella, pero no es para cocinar, sino para tomar de frente.
Suyana, a non-profit organization created by local medical volunteers, will continue to provide basic medical attention and education thanks to the PAMS Disaster Relief Fund. The projects such as the water filters, latrines, fumigation campaigns, community kitchens, and the extension of the medical campaigns, all the objectives has been accomplished. And the people from the communities that has been benefit are so grateful thanks to the efforts of the membership of PAMS.
Muchas gracias, ¿no? El que trae la ayuda para los más necesitados. Gracias.
Thanks, PAMS, for all your efforts in relieving the suffering for the people who've been affected by the disaster at the north coast of Peru.